Hello, my name is Bill Jarrett. We're doing lab activity 3.4.2, configuring trunk port to connect switches. We'll be observing default switch VLAN configuration and operation, configuring static VLANs on a switch, verifying VLAN configuration operation, and configuring trunking between these switches. First thing the instructions tell me to do is to find two switches. So I'll grab a couple 2960s and throw them out here. Label switch 1 and 2 accordingly. And then we need to grab 3 PCs, throw them out here. That will be actually 1A and 1B. I'll get back to that. 1A, 1B, and then number 2. Okay. Now that we've thrown all of our computers out here, we can go ahead and change their names around. Call him host 1A. Call this fellow host 1B. Call this one host 2. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do while I'm here is host 1A is I'm going to give him an IP address since we're here. We give him 172.16.1.10. It'll automatically assign a subnet mask. We'll go ahead and close that. Then on 1B I'm going to do the same thing. Give him 172.16.11. And we'll go to PC2. Do the same thing. Give him a .12 address. Okay, all done. Now everybody has their own IP addresses there. We'll go ahead and connect him up to the switch using regular straight through cables. And we're going to connect host 1A to our switch, and he'll be using from the fast Ethernet port to fast Ethernet port number 2 is where we're going to connect him up at. Then we're going to do the same thing with this guy, make him go to fast Ethernet 3. Why 2 and 3, you say? Well, pretty simple. Because, we're going to run a crossover cable from here on fast Ethernet 1 to fast Ethernet 1 to connect the two switches together. And then we're going to use fast Ethernet here to go to fast Ethernet 2 on this switch. Okay. Now that our network is pretty, alright, we can go in and actually configure our switches. Alright, I think I've done everything right so far. And then last but not least, I want to throw a console cable from 1A to my switch. Okay, now that he's done, oops, I moved him apparently. Alright, now I can go in and start configuring. So we'll come in here to our switch first, and I want to give him the name of switch 1. Now all I really have to do, to be honest, as we already know, is I come right down here where it says switch under host name, and I could just put in S1 and it will change it automatically in the CLI for me, but I don't want to do it that way. We're already enabled, we've got conf t, so now I'm going to change it and give it a host name of S1. So you can see how that's done. Alright, so now I've given it its proper host name. The next thing that I have to do is give it a series of passwords and so forth. So, my instructions are telling me that I have to configure it with a console, telnet, and privileged passwords according to the table diagram, and to assign the VLAN 1 IP address, and then to save the configuration. Nowhere on here does it give me passwords, but it does give me the IP addresses, which is nice, 172.16.1.1, and the host name of S1. So I'm going to assume that, again, the passwords are the same as in the previous exercises, which should be Cisco and class for the secret. So, considering we've got the host name already set, let's go ahead and start configuring the rest of it. So since I'm in switch, let's see here, privileged exec mode, conf t, okay, we're in global configuration, so we're all set to go. So, we'll start off by enabling the password, which we'll set as Cisco. Oops, forgot something. Enable password Cisco. And then we're going to say enable secret. And that'll be class. And then we'll try line con 0. Set a password of Cisco. Then we'll set login. Then exit out of there. Next I have to do line VTY 04 password Cisco. We'll say exit line VTY 515. Password is be Cisco. Okay, I think I've got all of them now. Next, I can set up my VLAN. So I'll exit out of this. Back to global configuration mode. So now we're on interface VLAN 1. Okay, and then I can set the IP address. Should be 172.16.1.1, I believe. Double check to be sure. Yep. 1.1. Then I have to set a subnet mask. Okay. We'll throw a no shut. Alright. Let's see here. Connect PC console port. Assign VLAN 1 IP address and then save the configuration. Alright. We'll use a copy run start command. Copy run start. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. End. copy, run, start. There. Okay. Done. So switch 1 has been configured with all its basic information. Now we have to go to switch 2 and do the same exact thing that we just did. Conf T, alright, and then host name S2. Okay. Next I want to enable password Cisco. Oh, get that in the screen where you can see what I'm doing. That might help. Alright, next, enable secret, which is going to be class. Then we'll do line con 0, password Cisco, and then login. Oops, login. There we go. Next up, line VTY 04, password Cisco, line VTY 515, password Cisco, okay, and then next we have to set the VLAN address, which is going to be 172.16.1.2. So we start by saying interface VLAN. Back down here. 1. We'll set the IP address. To be 1.2 with a 255.255.255.0. Okay. So no shut. Okay. Copy, run, start. Alright, let's do something here. Show, running, config. Here we can see that we've got everything enabled like we're supposed to. We haven't configured anything yet as far as our interfaces go. Here's our VLAN 1, line con, VTY passwords, and we're looking good. If we were to do the same thing on switch 1, should see the same things. Everything looks good. Alright. Next up, the instructions tell me to configure the host PCs according to the information in the table and diagram, which we have already done, but let's take a look again just to make sure we got it right. Look at our IP configuration. Oh, there's a problem. So we can fix that in all three of these, it looks like. The default subnet mask is incorrect. Okay, now that we've done that, we can now move on. Looks like we're getting a bunch of little green dots, which is a good sign. And we want to verify default VLAN configuration and connectivity. And it says, when directly connecting some switches, as in this lab, the switch ports automatically configure themselves for trunking. To prevent this, manually configure the switch ports for normal operation on S1 and S2. Alright, the way how we're going to do that is we're going to go over here to switch 1 and reopen this fella back up. Bring it into global configuration mode. Conf T. Okay, now that we're in global configuration mode, we can start messing with stuff. So we're going to say interface FA 0/1. We're going to set the switch port mode to access. That one looks right now. I need to go to switch 2 and do the same thing. Minimize that for just a second. Conf T. And we're going to go ahead and set him up right. Interface FA 0/1 and his switch port mode. Switch port, okay, it's spelled right, mode access. Okay, so what we just did is we just set up the ports that connect these two switches together, the switch port mode to be accessed between the two of them. Now the instructions tell me to verify default VLAN configurations on both switches with the show VLAN command. So we'll go back into this guy here. Can't do that from here, so I need to exit out. Exit. Throw a copy, run start. Say show VLAN. Okay, and there's our show VLAN command. We see the F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all on VLAN 1. Okay. Alright. So everything appears in VLAN 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. Do the same over here. Just type in instead of exit. Copy, run start. Show VLAN. Again, everything 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. Alright, all of them are inside VLAN 1 where they belong. Okay. Now we should be able to ping between all the different computers here. Everything should be working and they're all in the same VLAN, so things should just work fine. So let's try this theory out and see if it works. So this is .10. Well, this guy is .11. So we'll go ahead and try that. So from .10 we're going to try to ping .11. So 172.16.1.11. All these are all commas. darn it, .16.1.11, if I remember right. Yep, alright, good. And we're getting replies immediately. That's excellent. So we just pinged host 1B from host 1A. Now we're going to try host 2. Should be at .12 on an entirely different switch. Okay, we're looking good. Outstanding. So host 1A can ping everybody. Now we'll try host 1B. You can try .10. Getting replies. Excellent. .12 should be able to communicate as well. Getting replies. Outstanding. Now we'll try host 2. He can try .10. And .11. And he's getting replies. Excellent. So all the PCs can ping each other. Outstanding. So next up, it says we're supposed to also try to ping the switches. Oh, fun. Okay, switch 1. This is .1. Okay, we got a reply. I'll try .2. We get replies. That was from 1B. Try 1A. Same thing. Get replies. And get replies. Now we'll try from host 2. Switch 1. Getting replies, and host 2 to switch 2. Getting replies. Okay, everybody can ping everybody else. That's wonderful. Now we can move on to step 5, which is create and verify VLAN configuration. We have to create and name VLANs 2 and 3 on both of our switches. So we'll go back into switch 1. Here we are. Get back into global configuration mode. Now that we're in there, I can create VLAN 2. So VLAN 2. There we go. We're configuring VLAN 2. We're going to give it a name. Fred. Why? I don't know. We're going to exit out of there. And then we're going to go and create VLAN 3. We're going to give it a name. Wilma. We'll go ahead and exit out of there. So we have our default VLAN 1, VLAN 2, which is named Fred, and VLAN 3, which is named Wilma. So now we do the same thing on our switch 2. Go back in global configuration mode. Okay. VLAN 2. Name it Fred. VLAN 3, and name it Wilma. Okay. Next up, we're going to assign switch ports to both of these VLANs. So the ports connecting hosts 1A and 2 will be assigned to VLAN 2, or Fred, and the port connecting host 1B is going to be assigned to VLAN 3, which is going to be Wilma. So, to do that, where'd my mouse go? We'll go back to switch 1 first, and we'll start playing here. Alright, so we're going to configure interface fast Ethernet 02, and we'll set that to be switch port access for VLAN 2. Then we'll exit. And then we'll set up our interface for FA3. And again, switch port, access, VLAN 3. We'll throw an end. And then a copy run start. Okay, now we'll go to switch 2, set him up. We're in global configuration mode already, so I can say interface FA0/2 will be switch port, access, VLAN 2. Then we can end that. Throw a copy, run start. Okay. Now we're going to try to test connectivity between all of our devices by pinging from switch 1 to switch 2. So ping 172.16.1.2, I believe. Let me try that. Yes, okay. So switch 1 is going to try to ping switch 2. Lost my spot. There we go. Okay. And we got a success of 3 out of 5, which is good, I guess. Now we're going to try, what do we got? Ping S1 to S2. Are the pings successful? Yes. To what VLAN do the management interfaces of switch 1 and switch 2 belong? I have no clue. Ping from host 1A to host 2. 1A to host 2. 172.16.1.12, I believe. Double check that. Yes. So we're going from 1A to host 2. Okay, and all the requests timed out. Were the pings successful? No. To what VLAN do hosts 1A and 2 belong to? Okay. Oh, I gotta remember here. VLAN 2 is what they both belong to. So next, oh no, yeah, 1A and 2, that's right. And then the other one belongs to VLAN 3. And VLAN, yeah, so the switches belong to VLAN 3. So now we're trying to ping from host 1A to S1 to switch 1. So that should be ping 172.16.1.1. Man, that's a lot of pinging. And of course we can't reach that, so now we're going to try to trunk. Okay. Oh my goodness. So to allow connectivity within multiple VLANs across multiple switches, which is our big problem here, we have to configure trunking first. Without trunking, each of our VLANs will require a separate physical connection between switches. So we'll try to configure trunking on S1 and S2. We're going to set up port FA1 on switch 1, which is already connected to port FA1 on switch 2. So we'll go into switch 1, and we're going to basically make this line right here a trunk line between the two, because they're both on fast Ethernet 1 on both switches. So we need to be in global configuration mode first. Alright, now that we're there, I can set up trunking. So I'm going to set up interface, I think it's fast Ethernet 0.1 on both switches. Alright, now that we're configuring that, we can say switch port mode is going to be trunk. Alright, good deal. And we'll type in end. Everything looks wonderful. Wunderbar. Okay. Next, I'm going to go over to switch 2. Actually, and let's throw a copy run start just to be safe. Start. Okay. Next, we'll go to switch 2 and do the same thing. Set him to be a trunk. You can see that it's not communicating anymore. Do the same thing. Get in the global configuration mode first. Now that we're in global configuration, we can configure interface fast Ethernet 0.1 and set that to be switch port mode to be trunk. Okay, done deal. And always be safe. I throw my copy run start. That start, yes. Okay. So now we'll verify our creation of the trunk lines with the show interface trunk command. And there they are. Ta-da! Do the same thing on switch 1. And there they are. And we see VLANs allowed and active in management domain is 1, 2, and 3. So we have all 3 VLANs are allowed inside the network there. So we're going to go ahead and try to retest our connectivity now. We're going to ping from switch 1 to switch 2. So go in here, and we'll say ping from switch 1, which is to switch 2. So 172.16.1.2. Okay, we have success there. Now we're going to try to ping from host 1A to host 2. So here's 1A. Ping 172.16.1.12. Now we're getting replies. Wonderful. Now we're going to go to 1B to host 2. .172.16.1.12. We should get more replies. Whoa, what's up with that? 1B to host 2. 172.16.1.12. Interesting. So 1B can't get to 1.2 for some reason. Now we'll try pinging from host 1A to switch 1. .172.16.1.1. And we're not getting returns. Alright. So basically what we're seeing here is that devices that are in the same VLAN can communicate, but devices that are not in the same VLAN cannot communicate. So because 1A and the switch are not in the same VLAN, they cannot communicate with each other. We could communicate from here to here, no problem, but we could not communicate with him because he and both switches are in the same VLAN apparently. So let's test that theory and try pinging 172.16.1.1. We should get replies if they're in the same VLAN. Nope, they're not in the same VLAN. Which one was in there with them? 1A. 2.16.1.1. So because they're not in the same VLAN, then they can't communicate with each other. Alright. Oh, what else is next? The next instruction is to remove the switch port mode trunk command from the interfaces. Okay. So we'll go back into global configuration mode, and we're going to throw, we're going to configure interface FA01, and then we can throw the no switch port mode trunk. Trunk. And then after that, we can just throw our end and copy, run, start. Oops. End. Copy, run, start. Come on, darn it. There. Okay. Next, go to interface 2, or switch 2. Do the same thing that we just did there. Global configuration mode. Boy, I'm getting tired. Interface FA01. So no switch port. Mode trunk. Alright. And then end. Copy, run, start. Okay. So now we should be able to test the theory by seeing which trunking mode that we defaulted to. So we'll still a show interfaces trunk. And it shows nothing because there are no interfaces. Go back to switch 1, do the same thing. Show interfaces trunk. And again, it shows no interfaces, meaning that there are no interfaces configured. Well, I hope you had fun with this as much as I did.